Hello, and welcome to the Mike Guarneri podcast. Well, I'm Mike Guarneri. This is the episode number one, the inaugural podcast of a new daily podcast I am doing. Um, Short and sweet, hopefully every day. So, what this podcast is about, it's what I'm about right now, which is looking at old ways, ancient, occult, um, archaic knowledge and information and practices and traditions to test them and see if they might be able to help as a supplemental relief to anxiety and depression. Um, I've looked into Celtic practices in the past and have a guide out, which is 10 practices, 10 Celtic practices to help level up your mind and help relieve anxiety and depression. And now I'm expanding a little bit. Um, so that's what I'm all about, is finding alternative ways to address mental health issues or treatments to mental health issues. Um, Look, people who suffer from anxiety and depression, like myself, medications are great. Unfortunately, they do have side effects. Talk therapy is also great, but I found nothing really gets you close to 100% feeling good. Everything helps. So I figure if we can find something else that's natural to supplement drugs and therapy, talk therapy, that would just be a fantastic thing. And for someone who's suffering, say, from really mild anxiety, maybe they don't need to go on that med or do the talk therapy. Maybe they can just get by, with doing some of these practices that I find. Now, I want to make it completely clear. I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist. I am not any way associated with any medical community. If you feel like you're suffering from anxiety or depression, please seek professional help. All I'm trying to do is to offer a supplement or a mild treatment. So don't think anything I say is the end all or be all of the treatment for anxiety and depression. So today I want to start off by giving you some statistics about anxiety and depression, which I took from the Anxiety and Depression Association of America. So these facts all apply to America. I didn't pull up the ones for the whole world, but I'm sure they're out there. So, as far as anxiety goes, it's the most common mental illness in the US. It affects 40 million adults and 19.1% of the adult population every year. That's just a staggering number. It really is. And some types of anxiety that one could experience is general anxiety disorder, which affects 6.8 million Americans, or 3.1% of the population of adults in America. Yet only 43% of these people are receiving any treatment for their anxiety. Another anxiety is panic disorder. That affects 6 million, or 2.7% of the US population every year. Another big number there. And another type of common anxiety is social anxiety disorder. That affects 15 million people, or 7.1% of the US population every year. Now, unfortunately, I suffer from all three. um, but, if you suffer from any of these, please get help and don't think anything is too small. Oh, it's just nothing. I'll just deal with it or work through it. Just get help. You'll be glad you did. There are other types of anxieties as well, such as stress anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, otherwise known as OCD, PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. And that's just the beginning of the list, these six I've mentioned. The list goes on and on and on of different types of anxiety, but these are the most common ones. So, usually anxiety isn't alone. A very common pairing is anxiety and depression together, like I myself experience. So let's look at some depression numbers. In 2020, It's estimated that 14.8 million US adults had at least one major depressive episode that year. That's crazy. And depression. The rates of depression are higher among younger adults ages 18 to 29. 3% of adults with major depressive episodes did not get treatment. One type of depression is major depression disorder, MDD, that can develop at any age. It affects more than 21 Americans, or about 8.4% of the US adult population every year. Nearly 21% of adults in the US will go on to develop major depressive disorder at some point in their lives, which is another staggering number. Almost 41% of adults with major depressive disorder, MDD, are not receiving treatment. So you can see a lot of people are experiencing issues and not receiving treatment. Another type of depression is persistent depression disorder, otherwise known as PDD. It's a form of depression that usually continues for at least 2 years. 3.1 million, or 1.5% of the US population in a given year, suffers from this. I am one of them, which is not a fun thing, but we have to deal with the cards we're dealt. And best thing to do is to find the best solutions for you. So once again, these depression statistics are just crazy, and anxiety statistics, they're just crazy. And especially when I suffered from them, or I'm suffering from them, I felt the need to go out and find a different way to help myself, and by extension, help you. Because I'm going to share everything I find, as I did with my Celtic practices. And hopefully, at the end of the road or along the road, people can be helped. Be provided an alternative, an add-on treatment. We'll see. In my next episode, we're going to talk about these ancient, occult, antiquity type practices, traditions, methodologies, and lifestyles those people from the days gone by used, and use them, whether the intent was there or not, to attain a peaceful life, spiritual attainment, fulfillment, and in the process, avoiding great anxiety and depression. So stay tuned, and tomorrow we will move into the different practices, and I will see you then, or you'll hear me then. Thank you, and have a great day.